Hi there, my name is Kay Moon, and I am a Western astrologer and twin flame channel. And this is a video about the Leo new moon for twin flames as we approach the Lion's Gate in 2019. This new moon takes place on July 31st, 2019 at 11:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can see this new moon here in the lower right part of the chart at 8 degrees Leo conjunct Venus. This is a really lovely new moon. If you have been watching my videos, you know that a communication window has opened for twin flames with this Mercury retrograde here in Cancer, and Jupiter trine Juno, the divine masculine, in a harmonious conversation of a 120-degree angle with the divine feminine, both in fire signs. This is such a lovely new moon energy for a return to sovereignty and toward communication. One of the things I love about this new moon is the divine masculine's entry into the final degree of this retrograde for the divine masculine at 14 degrees Sagittarius. At 14 degrees Sagittarius, the divine masculine has retrograded back to his final degree of seeking internal light and internal energy. This is a moment of reckoning and a moment of truth for the divine masculine about how he feels about himself, about his goals, about what he wants from life, and not just for the divine masculine, but for all masculine energies on the planet, including yours if you're a divine feminine. This is a moment where truth about your connection, about what you want, what you're capable of, where you want to go, what your hopes and dreams and goals are, all of that is Sagittarius. This is a moment where the truth of those things will have arisen for you internally, and some understanding about what it's going to take in order to get there, and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do in order to get there. And trine here with the divine feminine conjunct Mars, there's a couple of interesting ways that can play out. There's definitely Mars motivation toward partnership. Simultaneously, for divine feminines or feminine energies on the planet, this is also an energy that can lend itself to a heating up of karmic partnership between you and someone who is not your divine masculine. This can be a level of, you know, recognizing the necessity and the healing power of this karmic partnership that could be in your life at this time. The other way that this could play out is a real motivation for the divine feminine, because it's conjunct her asteroid, and for the divine masculine because it's trine his planet, toward the twin partnership, toward the twin connection. So you may fall in one or the other camps. Neither is bad. You're on the path that you need to be on, and it's okay to trust that. So know that, that there's this communication window that's open between you and your twin, and it's up to you what you choose to do with it at this new moon. This new moon sets in place a cycle. I think it kind of lasts almost through the end of the year, from my understanding, because at this new moon, we have so much energy retrograde. There's enough retrograde energy that is going to kind of operate in a relay race fashion where, each retrograde, each thing as it turns direct, first, I think it's going to be Mercury, then it's going to be Jupiter, then we'll have Saturn going direct toward the end of the year. We'll pass the baton off from there, I believe, to I think it's either Pluto or Neptune. I'm not sure which will be direct next. There's a bit of a relay race here among the energy where the enlightenment that Jupiter is bringing to all of us in our masculine energies about what it is we need in order to move forward in our connection will then be asked to be applied toward our discipline, Saturn, our communication, Mercury, our willingness to let certain things go so that other things can live, Pluto, our willingness to drop illusions, Neptune. All of this is going to now play out now that we have the truth. It's going to cascade through other areas of our life as each one of these planets moves direct. So it'll be an interesting end of the year. As we move through this end of the year, there's also some other energies that I really want to point out. Because as we move into the Lion's Gate, there's definitely a huge manifestation window here. It's a very fertile time. And so one of the things that we're being asked to look at is a commitment to our spiritual practice. There's Lilith conjunct Nessus here. I speak about this in depth inside of the general video. If you have not watched that, I implore you to, because it'll explain what that means. Whatever spiritual practice works for you, this is the time to cultivate and wield it. And then the other thing that's really interesting to me here is we've got Spite, Eris here at 24 degrees Aries in a kind of trine energy to what we have going on at 19 degrees Leo, which is Juno, and Mars, which is it's a slight trine. It's not a huge one. If it was a huge one, I'd be more concerned. It will be a huge one as we move toward the end of the year. So what I want to say about that is this. Eris really brings to attention the places in our hearts and minds where we feel like we've been wronged, where we've been left out, where we've gotten the short end of the stick, where, we feel like, other people haven't truly recognized us for who we are and what we bring to the table. And in response to that, what Eris does is, rather than taking the high road, Eris calls everyone on the carpet about that and makes them pay for it in some of the less eloquent and elegant ways. Eris is an energy that's needed. Sometimes people need, to get the bad cop. However, with so much nurturing energy here in Cancer, North Node Mercury retrograde, and return to sovereignty here in Leo, partnership asteroid, motivation, ambition, Mars, needs, Moon, Sun, instincts, Venus, glue, connection, love. The energy in the fire sign has less to do with communicating that kind of harshness, and more to do with becoming aware of it so that you can speak to it as Mercury goes direct. So this is less about saying to someone, kind of backhandedly, like, oh, right, yeah, I forgot you're always, with your wife on weekends, or, oh, right, I remember now. You never respond to me after 9, or like, it's less about that, and it's more like, people need to be called out. Don't get me wrong. It's more about saying, like, when you initiate a conversation with me but you don't respond back, like, I feel a type of way about it, and it really leaves me feeling like you don't really care. Like, so if you don't, and I'd like to know where you're at, like, what's going on here, so that I can, figure out how to really stay in communication with you in a way that works for me. Like, that's the kind of thing, like, yes, call people out, and do it in a way that doesn't, leave a grenade in the middle of the room and then storm out. It doesn't require them to feel less powerful for you to stand in your power. And that's the energy here. Your power is a given with all this energy in Leo. Your power it's palpable by them and by you. There's absolutely no question about it. So there's no reason to take the back door when the front door is wide open with the red carpet rolled out for you. You can speak directly to the issue and how you feel about it and know that it's going to be heard at this time. So, further indicating that that is the case is we've got this Chiron here at 4 degrees Aries trining Venus and this new moon energy. Chiron's all about healing. And Chiron bringing a healing to this awareness that, I've been getting the short end of the stick with you for too long, and I'm going to need that to stop. Chiron bringing healing to that awareness really lends itself to two things. Number one, it lends itself to us as the individual receiving this message, doing the self-healing work when we feel away, when people behave the way they do. To doing the self-healing work, to not take it personal, to not make it about us, to see, that we sit on our throne no matter what they do. And no one can take that away from us. In the connection, it lends itself to having a healing conversation. That's the second thing it does, especially as Mercury moves direct and gets itself into a trine with that Chiron as we move through the month of August. So again, if you haven't listened to the general reading for this Leo new moon, I'm going to invite you to do so because there's some other really good tidbits to help you guide your month in there. But these are the overriding energies as it pertains to the divine masculine here. Jupiter in retrograde at 14 degrees Sagittarius, and the divine feminine here conjunct Mars at 19 degrees Leo. There's a lot more going on than just this, especially as it pertains to this Pluto Chariklo. For those of you in separation at this time, you're definitely going to want to listen to that part. It's very significant for you. But know that, as we move through the end of the year, some of the pressurized feelings that we've been having in twin flame connections will start to ease as some of these planets start to move direct. I have only a handful of 1 hour appointments left before the middle of the month, before August 15th. I opened up the reading calendar on August 1st, and they went very quickly. So if you would like to book a reading with me this month for you and your twin flame connection for the first half of the month, email me at krysalismoon@gmail.com, krysalismoon@gmail.com. You'll get the autoresponder first. It will detail how to pay. And then as soon as I've received payment confirmation, I will send you information on how to book your appointment. And then we'll be scheduled. If you have received an email from me that says, hey, can we move your time up 30 minutes? Please respond. I'm trying to fit in as many appointments as I can in the time that I have. So if I'm trying to carve out as much time as I possibly can for people, because there are a lot of people who need help and people who've been on the wait list. So if you can move your time any earlier, please do if I've asked you for that. Otherwise, I expect that the 1 hours will probably be booked as soon as we get to the end of this week. And then the mid-month appointments to the end of the month, those will open next week. And so sit tight. If you decide to book a reading and we're sold out for the first half of the month, know that you'll be on the priority list to pick your appointments first. As soon as I open the mid-month calendar, you will have first pick. No one else will choose but you. And then as soon as you've picked your appointments, then I will open up the calendar to everyone. Thank you again for listening, liking, subscribing, and sharing. I really look forward to reading for you. And have a great new moon. Take care.